One thing that I admire about Dr. Martin Luther King was that he did not only fight for what most people believe a black and white picture. He fought for equality amongst all races, and that's something that I idolize about him. That he took every individual as an individual and used that to fuel his purpose, which was to have freedom across the board for all of us. Growing up, you really had to go out there and find your own motivation. My mom, she was a single parent. My dad, he was in and out. It was an opportunity for me to grow as an individual and for me to find out what I cared about most. And I soon learned that above anything, I cared about an education. My mom instilled in me and my brothers that at an early age. Having 4 other siblings, you kind of just have to make your own identity. And I can say I was able to do that working at the Boys and Girls Club of West Alabama. I found something that I was passionate about, which was the children and their future, and the future of America. Without them, I don't think I could have the fuel or the energy to kind of keep pressing forward. It's because I know that they're looking at me, watching my every step and every move, from the way I dress to the way I talk to what goals have I accomplished to help encourage them. So every day I'm like, Tyler, you have to go out there, you have to do your best, you have to change the world for the world, because at the end of the day, we're raising the future. My ultimate goal in life is to become a teacher, well, a principal of one of my elementary schools, Holt Elementary. That would be my dream job. It comes from working with kids so much. You realize that authoritative figures such as teachers and principals and coaches have such a great impact on their lives in determining their success that I believe God has put me in a place to where I'm able to encourage them and motivate them to do things in which sometimes they don't really see that they have the potential to do. Ferguson is one of the most controversial issues we're currently facing, and I sometimes do see a problem with the media and its idea and its take on Ferguson and how it impacts the lives of children. You have some children who are now looking at policemen as a threat. And where I come from, you sometimes see them as a threat already, or you're brought up to defend yourself from them or to protect yourself. And for example, when you see a policeman, go ahead and put your hands up. And I've taught my kids here at the Boys and Girls Club, like, when you see a policeman, say hey, like, they're great people, they're here to protect and serve. But with this situation, they're now hearing 2 different sides of a story, where one side is anything can happen, and the other one is they're here to protect and serve. So I can completely understand as to why some people are the way they are currently. But at the end of the day, again, it's not, in my opinion, a civil rights issue. It's more of I am a human. I should be treated as such. A just society to me would be where someone is able to walk into a room and not be judged, not be stereotyped, and not be categorized by their quote-unquote outer appearance. A just society would be where everyone is as knowledgeable as he or she can be about as many different races, religions, identities, just in general. A just society would definitely be an opportunity for our future to grow and for America to become a better place.
What I've read and what I've seen and what I've heard, I've been very impressed with Dr. King and the things. He had a lot of vision, a lot of forethought, and you know, he did. He just wanted a better community, trying to address the fact of the poor, trying to address the ones that was oppressed, the needy. He tried to address the issues in a non-violent way. And I was very impressed with that because that went right along with the concepts of what we needed in law enforcement. I was trying to do something on a very local, very small area with what he was doing nationally. I can't imagine all that he had to go through and what he had to have vision to see that and make a national change that he's made. Well, after I got on the police department and worked there a while, and I just saw the needs in the community. I saw what police officers were doing in the community. I saw what the community reaction to those police officers was. And when I eventually went into administration and got into a position to where I had a little say-so what we could do and what law enforcement officers needed to do, I began to meet with different communities, not only the African American community, but the Hispanic community. And I wanted to bring our community together. I wanted to understand what the community needed from law enforcement, but at the same time, I wanted to be able to show them what we had a job to do, that what our responsibilities was in the neighborhood. And so that's kind of how I got into the community policing. And we had an open door policy at the police department. The community knew that they could come in and tell us when they were having a problem. If they had problems with police officers, we had a very strict policy at the police department, accountability and responsibility. One of the big things, be honest with us, tell us if you did something wrong, if you done something wrong in that community, and we could deal with it. If you made a mistake, we're humans, we make mistakes. But if it's something we couldn't deal with, we terminated that employee. And we also did the community the very same way. We had a strict policy. If they was out there breaking the law, regardless who it was, they went to jail. We had to do what we had to do as far as accountability and responsibility. We tried to be open to the community, and I think that was the most successful thing that we did, just being open and honest to the community. I'm currently president of the Salvation Army. We have had our building completely blown away back in 2011. We're in a fundraising project to complete that building. We broke ground 2 weeks ago. We have raised $5.3 million to build that center back, and hopefully in 320 days we will have us a new shelter. Involved in the mid-'80s with the workforce development with the Chamber of Commerce. I was elected to sit on a committee to look at technical programs here in the city of Tuscaloosa instead of trying to get everybody to go to the university. Very proud that today we have the workplace development program that we've got going on here in the city of Tuscaloosa with Shelton State. We've got, the foundation board, we just gave them $250,000 to the Chamber of Commerce for workforce development. That's training different people on technical careers here in the city of Tuscaloosa. So that's been very beneficial. That's been very helpful, having Mercedes here and working with them and creating jobs in Tuscaloosa. If we just learn to appreciate and understand our fellow human beings, work with the communities, work within the system. This is the thing at Dr. Martin Luther King that I took away from all the readings that I read here. Do educational programs to understand each other, understand different segments of society. I think we would go to a more just society just by doing the right thing and having accountability and responsibility.
Dr. King was probably one of the strongest men, persons that I know. The fact that he did not or abhorred violence did not necessarily mean that he was not a strong person. It meant he was a stronger than the usual. I doubt very seriously, though I am a lover of peace, whether I could have gone through some of the things that he went through and still remained nonviolent. I felt as if by just being as competent and capable as I can, I would knock down a lot of barriers. I was interested in art and in science. As a matter of fact, art and science sort of battled each other throughout my career until I decided one day I'm going to combine both. There are a number of things that I can look back and with a great deal of excitement because of having done them. One of the things is I think that the science division at Talladega College in the 90s was cited by Peterson's Guide to Colleges and Universities as being in the top 200 undergraduate science programs in the country. In addition to that, I was a certified scuba diving. I brought that to the campus, and a lot of my students, we learned in the pool. I brought in my scuba diving team, and we learned how to scuba dive on the college campus. Actually started a research program using sea urchins as the experimental organisms, and some of us actually went down to the Gulf to dive for the animals that we did research for. So there are a variety of experiences that I've had. I have done workshops to dozens of schools, teaching young kids, giving them hands-on experiences in the visual arts, and at the same time letting them know that nothing is owed them, that you have to earn everything that you get out of this life. It takes work. But what bothered me, and it still bothers me to this day, is man inhumanity to man. I don't know how man can do some of the things that he does. And sometimes when you have hope that things are on the right path, your dreams and your visions and your anticipations are dashed by someone who does something utterly stupid. The only way to move forward is to love thy neighbor. I say I'm the father of hundreds of kids whom I hear from today, and I hope that I was as good a role model as King and some of the others were to me. I think that that's what life is all about. I get so I can give to other people, and that's exactly my mantra. That's what I do. And I'm so happy to say that I've done that in a number of different cases, in science, in art, and wherever I can.